Here we are today at the Link Training Academy in Huddersfield, ready to talk to Amanda Lodge-Stewart, who has been recently appointed as the president of the NHBF. Welcome, Amanda. And for our readers out there who don't know, please could you tell us what the NHBF does?
Thank you for introducing me. So the NHBF is the UK's largest membership organisation representing the hairdressing, barbering, beauty, aesthetics, nails and holistic industries within the UK and Northern Ireland. We're there to support businesses. We're there to help businesses all over to be the best that they can be, to move forward, to support them with legal advice, health and safety advice, human resources advice. We've got a legal advice hotline that they can ring up when they need. We've got all sorts of resources and information on the website to help them with the contracts of employment, staff handbooks, how to manage staff sickness, all sorts of guides and resources that members can use to help them run their businesses and help them to become profitable.
Can you tell me a bit about what you're currently working on?
There's always loads of things that we're campaigning against, fighting for the benefit of the sector. So at the moment, we're looking to secure some further business support to help people get over the COVID crisis, the cost of living crisis. There's been a huge rise in energy, and we've been working with an energy supplier so that we can get benefits specifically for our members with the cost of the gas and the electric and the other utilities. We're looking at short and long-term, medium-term financial assistance for our employers. A lot of us have been left with bounce back loans that we're still paying back, delayed rent payments, delayed lease payments, and it's having a huge impact on the financial stability of a lot of businesses that are running at the moment. A lot of people have used all the cash reserves, so they're literally hand to mouth. So financial assistance at the moment is really important. Another thing that we're campaigning for is a fairer tax system for what we do. Our work is incredibly labour intensive, so you're only earning money when you're actually working on a client. And the VAT has a massive impact,
of course,
on the wages, on the finances, on the way that we can charge in businesses. And there's an awful lot of rogue businesses out there avoiding VAT and also avoiding tax, which means that they can charge a lot cheaper than we can charge when we are paying tax and VAT and doing it all the right way. So we're looking to maybe stamp down on that and looking for how we can manage that and how we can do that, really.
And we know that at the moment there's an issue growing with how our industry is perceived. Is there anything you're doing about that?
I think as part of the hairdressing, beauty, barbering industry, we've always been perceived as, if all else fails, go into this sector because it's easy. But actually, it's really not easy.
No.
And it's a really valuable industry, contributing 5.5 billion to GDP in year 19 to 20. So we're really valid and substantial in what we're offering. Currently employing just under 300,000 people, majority between the ages of 18 to 30 within the sector as well. A lot of people coming from deprived and local communities. There's an awful lot more salons in deprived and local communities as well, because it helps to build that community spirit. And this all helps with adult reskilling, with youth employment, with getting people into the workplace. Because you're not only learning your hairdressing skills and your creativity, you're also learning how to communicate, good customer service skills, good presentation skills. So it's a real all-rounder in getting people ready and into work as well. We're also working with well-being of our clients. A lot of people have suffered, a lot of people are still suffering. And we are sometimes an alternative to counselling, to social support, because people can come in and talk to us on a one-to-one and just dump issues and things, everything on us, and somebody that's trustworthy and reliable that they can talk to. So I think we really need to be recognised for that contribution that we're giving to industry and to the country.
Well, 5.5 billion, you can't argue with that.
You can't argue with that, absolutely not, no.
We're hearing more and more about the recruitment crisis and a lot of issues with apprentices coming into the industry. So what do you think we can do to secure the next generation of hairdressers moving forward?
It's about money, it's about finances. The government needs to put some serious incentives in place to encourage employers to take apprentices. At the moment, there is a skills shortage. It's currently taking around 3 months to be able to recruit a new member of qualified stylist within your salon, because a lot of people have left the industry during the COVID crisis. A lot of people are deterred from coming into the industry because they think it's low paid and it's incredibly undervalued, and they pushed down the A-level route and the academic route as opposed to the creative route and the entrepreneurial route. So I think the government needs to recognise that and support employers to take apprentices, young apprentices at 16 to 19. But they also need to realise that employers within our sector, because it's so labour intensive, are really deterred from taking 19 plus apprentices because of the wages, because they can't earn any money for you until they've got the skills in place, and they can't have the skills until they've done the training. So it's a real deterrent for employers to take older apprentices and people that perhaps want to reskill or are coming into the workplace after illness or redundancy. So I think that needs to be recognised as well, to get apprentices in there. It's a fabulous industry that we're in, so it's really well worth doing, and it's an industry that I've been in for over 40 years and loved every minute of it. So the passion's there. Yeah, definitely. So we can definitely do it. We just need some support to get there with it.
And apprentices are the future, aren't they?
Absolutely, the future. They are the fresh blood that's coming into the industry and the sector to revive us and motivate us, and it's their enthusiasm and knowledge that keeps us older ones going.
So you work very closely with the government then. Would you say that does good overall?
Absolutely. I really do believe that the work that we do lobbying the government and just keep on going at the things that we need. First of all, it helps them to recognise that we are a valuable sector and that we do need that support. And we're doing an awful lot of work behind the scenes, particularly on education, on the T levels, on apprenticeships. Caroline Lasseray, our Director of Professional Standards and Quality for the NHBF, recently met Sue Lovecock in Parliament, who is the Director of Professional and Technical Education for the DFE, to delay the T levels for our sector, which have now been delayed for 12 months because we're just not ready as an industry for those at the moment. And it's been recognised that there's a gap for students that are leaving school without the GCSE grades that they need to go on to a T level. So that was really important for us to delay that, for it to have any type of success once it launches as well. We've been fighting for apprenticeship funding bands to be recognised and raised so that we can offer more quality in the apprenticeships that we're delivering for our employers, and working with our employers to get that to where we need to be. So we've been fighting for the financial incentives for employers. So we use fact-based evidence to do that when we are fighting for that, and we get the fact-based evidence that we use by sending out quarterly surveys to everybody within the sector, not just our members, and asking really relevant questions to help us gather a picture of what the state the industry is in at that moment in time. And then we can collate that evidence and go to the government with that. So we're not just making a noise, we are coming up with data and facts and statistics about what's really happening. And that's really important for us as a sector and as an industry. And as one of the biggest organisations representing the industry, we are fighting for us. And that's, I'm quite passionate about making sure that we get that to where we need it to be.
Yeah, definitely. And I think lots of people don't realise the extent of the work you're doing because so much of it happens behind the scenes.
Yeah, a lot's behind scenes. A lot of it isn't very glamorous at all, trying to get to where we need to be, but it has been impactful, particularly over the last couple of years during the COVID period, fighting for the extra restrictions grant for our sector and the personal care sector. That made a massive impact for workers within our sector as well. So we are beavering away at it.
So is there anything else you have been doing for the industry recently that you'd like to mention?
We worked on the additional restrictions grant for the personal care sector during the lockdown period and during the COVID period. We've been working in Scotland on the Close Contact Fund to help hairdressers, barbers, beauty therapists in Scotland as well. We were a big influence on the energy relief scheme for businesses up to March 2023, and we've been constantly fighting for a business rates relief for all our salons and small businesses, currently at 75%. So those are the type of things that we're working on. We're really passionate about the tax and constantly pushing that and the impact of VAT on the sector. whether they listen.
Yeah.
But we are constantly pushing it. And I think the more fact-based evidence that we have, the more likely they are to listen, which is why the surveys are so important. That as many people as possible answer them and be as honest as possible in the responses. So, and I would like to say thank you to all those people that answer, because it really, really is a valuable source of information that we use.
So I think it's really important and useful for members to know that all of the evidence that you come out with is fully based in statistics and in the research you've done.
Absolutely. And I think it's because of the data that the government takes us seriously, because it's current, because it's reliable, because it's real employers and real salon owners that are contributing to that data, being honest and upfront about what they're saying, and that has the huge impact with the government.
Do you think it's fair to say then that the government does listen?
Yes, I do think the government listens, and they definitely request information from us from time to time on some really serious issues, and we have taken part in round tables, and we've spoken to individual ministers about our industry and the impact that the cost of living crisis and the energy crisis and the depression that we could possibly be going into is having on small and micro employers that are working within in the sector. The lack of apprentices, the lack of funding that we've had, they are listening. It's all going away behind the scenes, and it's data-based, it's fact-based. So yes, I do think they listen.
So it's clear then that the work that the NHBF is doing is making an impact, because you can see in the government's actions.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. We're always on it, and we're always at it, and we're always there when they want extra data or when they need some guidance on what they're offering or what they're looking at. So yeah, we are first at the door with that information for them.
So Amanda, why do you think people should be a member of the NHBF?
Because without it, I would not have been as successful as I had for me, for my own personal benefit. As soon as I started my own business, I joined the NHBF because it's an incredibly lonely place running a business and being a business owner and being an employer. And the NHBF has got my back. They support me with all complaints, customer complaints, legal advice, my contracts, my staff handbooks, how to manage maternity. There's all the health and safety advice. They keep me absolutely bang up to date with legislation, what changes. Throughout the COVID period, I just would not have managed without, because things were changing every day, and they were absolutely on it, giving me the information, giving me the printouts that I needed to put on my walls, what I needed to say to my clients, how to keep up with GDPR. They are absolutely at the forefront. And the most important thing I find is that they're trustworthy, reliable, and it's fact-based. It's not just speculation.
No.
This is real factual information that they're giving us. And they're at the end of the phone. I can just ring them and say, I've got a problem with a member of staff, or I've got a problem with a client. Can you help? And they're always there to help. It's worth its weight in gold. And then aside from that, I've got my discounts on my PPR, my PPL licence. I've got my discount with my insurance. So there's all sorts of other things that are going on on the sides. I can do all my learning online as well. There's all sorts of things that are going on and being created and involved. It never ends. It's a constant source of learning for me as well as support. So yes, that's why people should be members.
It sounds like a no-brainer, really.
Absolutely,
doesn't it?
It's an absolute no-brainer. You know, for the money that you pay every month, it's absolutely worth its weight in gold, because you'd pay that money to a HR company and some for the same kind of support and advice that you can get from the NHBF. So yes, it's definitely something that I believe all business owners should be doing. Just recently, there's been a member of staff is going off, one of my members of staff is going off to set up her own business, and the guide on there for new businesses has been absolutely invaluable for her to just get herself ready, you know, and I would be disappointed if she didn't join because of the support that's there for her to get up and ready and running her own business as well. So there's lots and lots and lots of things on there.
So as we all know, this is a very fast-moving industry. What would you say that NHBF is doing to try and remain current?
Over the last couple of years, I think we've moved miles from where we were. We've had a new CEO, Richard Lambert, and he's helped us to put together a new strategy. And part of that strategy is to become a lot more current and digital and getting information out there on all our social media channels as it's happening, and so that our members can access it. And not only our members, but the wider circle of practitioners within the hair, beauty and barbering industry can all access that information on social media channels and YouTube videos as well, which makes us a lot more reliable, a much more reliable source of information and much more current, because it's absolutely as we need it, we're there with it.
Are you enjoying your new role?
I am enjoying it very, very, very much. It's I think more work than I thought it was going to be when I first started. And I've learned so much already. I chaired my first board meeting this Sunday, which was a real learning curve for me, and I've picked up lots of things that I know that I need to do for next time. So I'm enjoying it because I'm learning. I truly believe in the National Hair and Beauty Federation and have done ever since I was a hairdressing apprentice all those years ago. So it's a sector that I'm really familiar with, I'm really comfortable with. The federation I'm really comfortable with. So yes, I am really enjoying it, and obviously I love the glamorous parts. Going to the awards events and going to all the events and having the dresses and the frocks. I love that. I love dressing up. So yeah, that's the nice part of it. But there is an awful lot of work as well that's not nice and not glamorous. But I still enjoy getting to the nitty-gritty and doing that as well. Yes.
Well, Amanda, thank you so much for your time. It's been lovely chatting to you today, and good luck for everything in the future.
Thank you very much, Tabitha. I've enjoyed it very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.